I bought the coolest 180 in Japan of 2024, old D1SL 2.2 car, but the wiring was garbage. So in today's episode, let's pull it all out and replace everything for the gauges and do a new engine harness as well. All right, guys, that's it. Let's jump in. As sad as it is to see, I've taken out the F-Con. This is a cool, nostalgic JDM piece of hardware that I just can't use. If y'all had watched Samit's video from the other day, he lost a really good motor, and his reasoning behind it was literally a bad harness or an old harness. He could shake the harness with it in accessory and the coil packs would fire randomly. When Carlos would shut the glove box, or if we hit a good bump, the ECU would literally sputter and the car would sputter. So might as well just get rid of all of that garbage. Immediately. So glad we're doing this. Oh, it's so gross. We're gonna take this out, get a better view. I took the back mounts out. Oh God. We've gone from this nice, beautiful interior to just absolute mayhem. Just cutting and pulling. That's all I've been doing. So Gustavo's here. Hi, Gustavo. We are taking big stabs at getting the rest of this wiring out. Turbo timer and the nitrous control system, or the output controller, they're out. HKS boost controller, like I said, the BR. Everything we have up here, we are going to end up reusing with the new harness. It's basically wiring for the RPMs, the pivot, coolant temp, boost gauge, stuff like that. Just got it all out of the way here so we knew it was clean. And then moving across to here, I know it still looks like absolute mayhem, but I realize that I'm at a point now where the only thing left on this is the power wire for that HKS F-Con. There we go. That should be everything we need to get this. Yeah, look. Oh my gosh, look at that adapter. That is all just for the HKS F-Con ECU, which is like a piggyback, obviously, because there was an S-chassis ECU in here as well that was in really good condition. That's just already so much better. Let's go ahead and pull this old, actually not very crusty, just old wiring harness on off the firewall here, and we will prep to get it pulled out. I've got Gustavo to help. All right, Goose, you want to slowly start pulling? Okay. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Look at the size of that. Just the two more plugs right here by the fuse box, and we can pack this one up. And I really mean this. Who would have thought the hardest plug on this whole harness was that one. This very last one. It was so, I guess it had some road debris. It was closest to the tire. Since all the wiring is here, we can go ahead and clean these up, strip all the coatings, organize all the wires together, put some sort of a terminal strip in the back that has power, ground, ignition, and we'll hook them all to that terminal strip. Okay, y'all are gonna like this. I have a jumper box ran to power, switch, illumination, and ground. I can now run any other auxiliary plugs, like these are for the pivot gauge there. I can now run these to the ground, power, and the switched for them as well. Once all this is done, I can zip tie it all together, run it up, and mount it to the firewall right there, and tuck all the wires up. And everything will be like really organized and plugged in. Oh, I forgot. We will need to get our signal wire. Using a jumper from that fuse box under there, and we will run that wire over to the yellow signal here. I've gone ahead and pulled a fuse out of the cigarette outlet location, threw it into the jumper with my extra 5 amp fuse. Let's go ahead and plug this in over here. Although it does block 2 of the fuses, that's pretty compact. We just need to go ahead and run this wire up and out of the way and send it all the way across through there with the others that go over to that distribution block. And there we have it, basically completed and ran. I know that could look better right now. We'll clean it up eventually. And the dash cover will go there and cover it all. So that means we can officially hook up power and ground. And what better thing for that than an old school sub wire kit? I mean, look at the quality of this 8 gauge wire. Matches the car as well. We'll be able to do an old school fuse somewhere where it looks cool, just why not? And we'll run it all nice and clean. I went ahead and ran a ground to a frame point in there that has a lot of good metal and continuity. Good crimp on this wire, and it's ready to heat shrink and put on, and then everything is officially connected. Every one of these is now tight, organized, ground, power, fuse, everything we need. I ran an illumination wire that I just left behind the radio until we can find one. We are ready to put our cover on this and put it up out of the way behind the dash here, and we are ready to move forward with this new engine harness. Here is the old harness, and here's the new. Look how much better this is. I mean, it's really well put together, all things considered, for like a $600 or $700 harness. It's not all that expensive. That's why it's not mil spec and stuff like that. But I mean, what I had comparatively is an absolute mess. Here it is all laid out. As you can see, it's just next to nothing compared to the old harness. What we've got here is main header plug for plug and play for the Link ECU, so there won't be an adapter, relay for it. Here are the wires to run to my expansion harness for fuel pressure, oil pressure, things like that. I added this wire for the vehicle speed signal and the RPM signal for that Apexi digital gauge, and then it makes its way around to chassis interface and then everything else we're gonna need, plus the additions for my, like I said, the flex fuel, oil pressure, fuel pressure, boost, so a max solenoid valve, stuff like that. We'll put that away because it is time after that to set up the ECU, run the expansion harness, run the can plugs, those little sensors, drill a hole for the vacuum line, and then we will be ready to throw it in the car and throw the harness in as well, and we can wire everything up. I've got a new plug and play Link G4X to go in this casing, and then some expansion harnesses and can expansions to plug into that ECU board. We will also open up these holes in the back or expand them so that I can run vacuum lines and the expansion wires out of the back of it. And then we can throw this all back together. With the cover off, I can very quickly see that there is a crack here in the header, and then right there in the case itself. Thankfully, this new ECU has a new header board or header plug, whatever you want to call it, because if we were reusing that one, I'd be replacing it. As you can see, S15 link already has the plug to hook up to the PC. A bunch of different ins and outs, and for the expansions, can plugs, things like that, I'll go right here. I don't want anyone to look at this ECU case when it's plugged in by their left foot and see like things coming out of that box. I want this to look factory. The back actually will be the best place to hide everything and have it run out of conveniently. And that allows us to just run these wires right out of there, run this one right out of here. Oh, we're loose. Oh, did I get lucky? Here is the old board all disassembled. Here is the case. All we have left to do now is throw it all back together. Of course, too large, don't feel like drilling out the housing. Got some blue stuff. It matches, we'll use it. I'll just zip tie it on and it will be fine. Minus the 6-pin that's about to come in. Everything here is officially fully wired and sealed. I have a connection here for vacuum. All of our lines run out of here really nicely, no issues or pressure on that right there. It's all sealed around the outside. Plug is ready to go. Everything's good. I can't wait to show you the screen of this. It is so old school and so cool and so special to this car. There we go. Everything else is done. Let's go ahead and just feed this harness on in. I'm by myself, so I will just knock it out. And then we can organize it throughout the engine bay and get ready to finalize the ECU and get everything put together. We have the harness through and initially ran all the wires where they generally need to be. You know, those will drop into the intake manifold and accessories, and same with these, route down and around to the starter. Everything's in its home. Okay, time to test it, even though we're not done with everything else. So I went ahead and threw the battery in, dropped on the negative terminal, connected my power wire for that distribution block, or my sub wire, and then ran a wire into the cabin for us to use for that trigger or that ignition source. And as soon as I touch that wire to the ignition source right here, we have working for the oil pressure, working for the oil temp, exhaust temp, and even have, see, because of the memory light, we know this guy is working as well and ready. Then coming up over here, you can see RPM gauge is good. Coolant temp is functioning correctly. And then our boost gauge, which we never had working before, has power as well now. And hopefully we can get that working. So all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those gauges are wired. We just have to wait to turn on the ECU for this one. And with me holding it on the illumination as well, look at that. Those all glow green. I didn't even know that. That is so cool. And with the glove box back in, you can really see how much better that is. I mean, that's done. That's fully wired gauges. That's a complete ECU. Those are the 2 plugs that I have for interface stuff hanging out in the corner. Otherwise, you can't see a thing. I mean, if y'all remember, that was the worst wiring I've ever seen in my entire career. Oh, it's so gross. So from that to this, I mean, look how much space I have. I am so tall and my legs are all, oh, that is so nice. Man, I am just really happy how that turned out, but I'm going to call it done for the day. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Next videos are going to be the finishing up the head and then setting up the link ECU and doing a bass tune and first starting this car, new fuel system, stuff like that. But if you enjoyed it, please subscribe. That's really helped me a lot. Otherwise, have a great day.